what is one thing that you now know in your career that you wish you knew when you first started out?
I should have learned how to produce way
Really?
earlier.
Very.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a hot take. I appreciate that.
I'll tell you why. Because I've learned that what sets me apart is my musical background, and I never knew how to sell it as an idea until I learned how to produce it first.
Hmm.
My musical background, like for example with Runaway, the reason that the band liked it, the One Republic liked the band, liked the song, and the idea that I had, it was this very rudimentary idea. It worked because the production around it, because the drum beat, because the feeling around it was interesting and different.
Yeah.
If it was just this germination of a melody, they'd be like, yeah, that's good, but where does it go really?
Yeah.
It was the fact that the drums were weird, that the guitars were weird, that the chords were a little wacky, all these things that I loved about that original idea that I did with them. That's what set it apart.
Yeah.
But I had to make this like very rudimentary idea as a production, be like, this is my vision.
Yeah.
And the vision of it is what made them excited, and then we worked it out together to where it ended up being. I've realized that for most of the records that I'm a part of, that I really love, that's because the music part of it is something I produce out first and be like, this is the thing that makes it cool. Yes, lyrics, yes, melody, all these things. But listen to that crazy drum beat, or listen to that like reference from 1982 Police era, or listen to
Yeah.
that reference from like 1967, rock and roll era.
Yeah.
Like these are all references that part of what I think I'm good at as a writer and a producer is having that vision of that era. But unless I sell it the right way, people won't get it.
Yeah. It's
You
really.
can't walk into a session and be like, hey, what if we do X? And they're like, okay, well, what if? I'm like, but I walk into a session and say, listen to this thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? If we work it out X, Y, and Z. And most of the times people are like, yes, I agree with that.
That's really interesting, man.